today I'm going to change the oil on my 96 Sportster. I'm actually getting ready to store my bike for the season, so before I get started, as you can see, I've got my bike up on this awesome table lift. This is a Changin Oil MC615R lift. Obviously you can see the benefits of a table lift. The bike is right up here. I don't have to hunch over. It's eye level. It's a great way to work. If you can afford a table lift in your garage, I highly recommend it. It makes servicing your bike that much more enjoyable. So before I get started, I have necessary things here with me. I have my service manual for my model bike. I have my oil filter wrenches. I have several different ones here. And I have some drain pans for dropping the fluid. I've got a funnel for filling the bike back up with fluid. Paper towels because it will get a little bit messy. I've got some brake clean to help me clean up any oil that gets past me. And I've also got a 1/4 inch socket ratchet set up because that's what the size of my drain plug uses. So I've had this bike for 10 years, so I'm really familiar with where the drain is located and the oil filter, but that's with your service manual. If you just got a new bike, you're not that familiar with it, head on over to your service manual. It's going to tell you where to locate all of that. So let's get started. Drop the fluid.
Okay, sorry for the shaky camera work here, but I'm working solo. So here's my drain hose, and I am loosening the clamp on that, and I will pull the hose off. Takes a little finesse. Okay, check it out. This is really important. You're not just changing your fluid right now. This is the time for you to pay any attention to what your bike's telling you. You want to make sure you inspect that fluid, see if there's any, God forbid, any metal shavings in there. You don't want to see anything like that. So, you know, you're reading all the information your bike's giving you. Now that we've got the fluid draining, we're just gonna walk on over and head over to the oil cap, and we'll just take that out. That's going to help gravity push the oil down through the tank and out the drain hose a lot faster. Okay, so now that the drain plug is out, I remove the filler cap. Gravity's pushing that fluid down into the drain pan nice. Next thing we'll do is go ahead and take the oil filter off. I forgot to mention too that before I put the bike up on the lift, I did get it warmed up, warm to the touch, the engine. That helps loosen the oil up and get a little bit more liquidy, warmed up, that it'll drain a little faster that way. So here's the oil filter, and I am using a strap type oil filter wrench. This fits my bike pretty well, and I'm gonna have to there we go, I'm right-handed, so I get that loosened up. I get it loosened up enough to the point where I can just turn it by hand. It's a little bit messy. Okay. Oil filter is now off. I'm going to put that in my pan. Okay, I'm going to use some brake clean here. Just get all that old oil out of the housing and rinse off any that I have gotten on my bike. Wipe the area clean. Before I put the new filter on, I like to put the drain hose back on, just so I don't accidentally start filling the tank up and the hose is still disconnected. It can happen, so always connect the drain plug hose first before you do any other steps. Okay, so I've got the old oil filter off the bike. I inspected the fluid that came out of the bike. Everything looks good. Reconnected the drain hose. It's all back together. Now I'm ready to put a new oil filter on and fill the bike with fluid. Use good products here, guys. Don't skimp out. Don't buy cheap stuff. There's plenty of good brand name filters out there. I'm using a Perform. I'm using Spectro synthetic blend on my bike. Don't
buy cheap engine oil, automotive oil for your motorcycle. They're blended completely different, so get good motorcycle oil for your bike. Okay, so let's get back to work.
Okay, I've got my good oil, my good oil filter. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of oil to the filter, just a little bit. Grab that and put it around the edge. Gives it a good seal when you put the filter back on. Okay, and we'll go ahead and put the oil filter on. Now, one thing I want to point out, I'm not using an oil filter wrench to put this oil filter back on. We don't do that. All you need to do is get this thing tight, give it one more good quarter turn. That's all you need. You don't need to tighten that with an oil filter wrench, because when you go to take that oil filter off, next oil change, you're going to be hating yourself for that one. So just hand tight that oil filter back on.
So drain plugs back in, new oil filters on, time to fill the bike up with fluid. Again, your service manual is going to tell you how many quarts. It also will tell you the weight. My bike 96 Sportster uses a 20W50. I'm using a Spectra synthetic blend 20W50. I would recommend for the bigger engine bikes, twin cams, harder running bikes to use a full synthetic blend. Head over to the garage section of our site and you'll find lots of information about synthetic versus standard versus synthetic blends. Lots of great information on oil there and the differences between all the different blends. If you don't have a proper way to discard of your used oil, save your bottles and you can funnel your used oil back into your bottles. You can take these down to the place you picked up your oil from. They'll be more than happy to take them off your hands and dispose of them the correct way. So lower the bike back down to the ground, and I'm going to turn the key on, make sure my oil light comes on, and then I'll fire the bike up, let the oil warm up a little bit, then I'll shut it back off. The oil light should go out at that point, and then I will check the level of the oil and top the fluid off.
So I'm going to come over. I'm going to turn my key on. You can see my oil light is on now. Start the bike. Okay. You see my oil light went out, so that's good.
So I let the bike run for a little while, got it warmed up, topped off the fluid. Check the level at my oil dipstick here. I want to point out that some bikes you can check while the bike is vertical on a stand like this. Some of them will need to be on the kickstand, the side stand. And check with your service manual and see what the routine is for your specific model bike. That's it. So this bike's got all new fluid in it and all set to be stored for the season. So I might take it out for a ride though before I park it. I think I'll do that.